Hey, what's going on there, guys? If you're wondering what we're looking at some LED lights. Okay, so I ordered these LED lights from Amazon. There they are. I mounted them like this. One thing you want to research though is if your bike has AC output or DC output. And then another thing you want to research, which I didn't, I kind of researched after the fact, after I ordered these. So now this is pretty much going to be a temporary setup. We're going to go test it out tonight, see if these work out good, or do I want to throw something else on here. Now here's what I mean. These are floodlights. If you can see the reflectors, they're all dimpled out, which means it's going to break up the light. And so the throw of this light, which means the distance it'll go, is very short. It's meant for area, not really spot. So we're going to try it out with two and see, do we get enough lighting or what. Now this is going to work side by side with the Trail Tech X2, which it'll basically look like this. The Trail Tech X2 headlight, like I said in my other video when we were riding in the dark in the trail, it's not that bright. This is very dim. I know they have some LED what do you call it, LED replacements to make them brighter. I guess LED or HID, whichever they are. But they're very pricey. This ran me about $16 for the pair. Now, again, one thing you have to research, if your bike puts out AC power, you're going to have to get a capacitor and a rectifier, which I didn't research till later. Like I said, after the fact, I was kind of excited, in a rush, so I placed the order before I really did my homework. Okay, so I'm just telling you now, if you're watching this video, we're going to do a test. We'll see how it goes. But if you're going to order lights for your bike or your quad or whatever it is, cars, no problem, because cars already have DC coming out. But for bikes and quads, some of them have AC coming out. So what I did was I went online, found this guy who makes this product. Okay. Now what this is a rectifier. In here, some rectifier. There's a rectifier and a capacitor, and it does a couple things. It turns the AC power into DC for the lights, and the capacitors help with the flickering. So this gets charged up with AC, gets converted DC out, and because it has capacitors, like I said, the wattage, you won't really have to worry about the wattage sucking out too much power at a time to where the bike flickers. If some of your lights flicker, then this is what you guys might need. Now, some of the things you're going to want to get before you do this installation, you're going to need a drill and a drill bit. You're going to need a wire crimper, wire cutter. This thing comes with an Allen key, but it's very, very difficult to get in here with this and turn it, little by little. So what you do is you just get a Allen tip and you put it in there and you just twist it on and everything works out perfect. Okay, you're gonna need a 14 and a 13 with this setup. You're gonna need some shrink wrap, some connectors, a lighter for the heat shrink, and you're gonna need a blade. Okay, now the way I have it mounted up here, I've never seen it done like this. I wanted to do it like this because this is for me right now a very temporary setup. So I was thinking, okay, how can I mount this with minimal impact to the bike? And so this is what I came up with. As you can see, with the headlight on, it works out okay, right? What do you guys think? Not too bad, right? I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think it looks okay. Yep. Now, one other problem that I had was, okay, so we got the rectifier, right? Man, sorry if I'm moving around too much. I apologize. So we got the rectifier, but I didn't do my research. Again, I did my research to find out what I needed. I ordered this after the fact. This came in a week ago. Didn't put it on because I knew I needed DC power for the output. And when I tore the bike apart, what I found out was that it already has a DC out for the lights. This thing has an AC out and a DC out. It has both. So what I did was, again, this is very temporary because I'm not sure how this is going to work. So I didn't want to, secure everything super good and then find out that I don't like the setup. So what I did was I spliced these two wires onto a connector, put it in here. So this is feeding both positive right now. Then what I did was I ran two negative wires onto here. Now one thing I didn't get is a switch. If you're running from here, this is always hot. So there's no switch to turn it on and off. It's not run through a switch yet. So what you need to do is, typically you would run this to a switch and then run it back into the lights, and then that switch would open and close the circuit. Now, since I don't have a switch, what I did was I decided to make this continuously hot, and I'm going to break open and close the ground. And how I'm going to do that? Very, very simple. I just hooked up a ground to here. Okay. And I'm using bullet connectors, and all I have to do is plug this together, and the lights are on. Okay. And then when I want it off, I just disconnect it. Now you want to make sure that the ground from the light or positive, whichever way you decide to do it, make sure that it's the one that's insulated. Okay, when you're hooking on your bullet connectors, don't put this side, exposed side, on this, because if this touches any ground, it's gonna go off. Okay, so right now it's protected. It doesn't matter if it touches here. It's already a ground. It's ground to ground. It's not gonna matter. This can touch anything on the bike. It's not gonna hurt. Okay, so you want to make sure, again, that whatever this leads to, with as far as the lights are concerned, because you already have the hot connected all the time, you want to make sure that this side is insulated, because you don't want this thing running off. And again, typically we're going to run it to a switch, so you don't have to worry about that. For right now, I don't have one, so just for testing purposes, I'm going to run it like this. It's very temporary. But if you decide to do it like I'm doing it, then you want to make sure that you do it like this. Okay, so once again, I did the twist method with some heat shrink, so everything's protected, everything's covered. Okay, now we're gonna wrap all this up, put the light on, then we'll see how it looks after that.